who you are. Good riddance. Is your kid in bid the forbidden? As it was written, you overbidding. With the heathens, karma is a bitch, so how you living? Pray for my enemies, I'm forgiving. Cast the pearls on hog moms and chitlin'. If it's too hot, get your ass out the kitchen. Finger licking good, good looking. Stewing in the stew, I'm cooking. You psyched out, paranoid and shookin'. Shook the table, spades I'm booking. Get prepared for this ass whooping. Listen to the words being spoken. You were talking, I'm awake and woken. While I'm spitting this, got your spit, got choking. Era up, a glimpse in my world, eyes shut open. Parallel in my mind, I'm chosen. Reverse the time, heart frozen. Antarctica, cold as ice. Casting lots, rolling dice. Mean as nails, I'm nothing nice. They persecuted me like they rejected Christ. All right. Good afternoon, evening in some places, and I'm your host, Meika Wash. This is Mouth Off with Meika, and I got a special guest with us tonight. He goes by Darien Eaton, and he's going to be talking about his faith and his focus and his journey to being a Renaissance man. Good afternoon, Darien. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How you feeling?
All right. Can you share with us a bit about your upbringing and about yourself and give us a little background?
Okay, yeah. Me, born and raised West Baltimore. I still live in Baltimore now. Married. I've been married about to be 11 years. I got 5 daughters. My oldest 16, my youngest 6. Just growing up here in Baltimore. I've done a lot of different jobs growing up. I start with, you start work like 14 or whatever the case may be to put some money in your pocket. But as I got older, I got saved when I was like 22. I became a Christian like when I was 22. Subsequently around that time, I got married like a little bit after that, maybe a couple of years later. I'm 36 now. Just giving you the quick, fast version.
Wait, how long you been knowing your wife?
I've been knowing my wife like we've been married almost 11, so like 14 years.
Oh wow, almost 11 years, 14 years.
Yeah.
You said you met how old?
So I met my wife. I was like 20, 23, 24, something like that.
And
around that time.
At what age?
And then all right, if I met her.
Like at 30 or something?
Yeah, I'm 36 now, so I was in my 20s when I got married. Like I think I got married like 24, 25, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So yeah. Believe it or not, around that time, it's crazy because all right, so I said I got 5 daughters. Theoretically, I got 1 daughter that I had before I met my wife, and she had 1 before she met me. So we already came in a marriage with 1 apiece. Then we had 3 together.
Okay.
And so before I met my wife, I was like working at the hospital. My grandmother had died when I was like 18. I went on that, couldn't find nowhere to live, did the homeless thing for a couple of years, couch surfing, just going from place to place. And then once I started getting a couple of dollars, I started working at the hospital. The hospital helped me get a little room for rent, run from a room for rent to an apartment. And I just started establishing myself because there's nothing worse than being at the bottom. When you broke, don't nobody like you. You can't, don't nobody answer no phone calls or nothing when you need them. So you might as well make that come up as fast as you can. And so it was crazy because I was going through a rough patch, and then started going to church. Subsequently, maybe I gave my life to Christ. It was like I said, I was 22 when I got saved. I started going to church maybe that 3-4 year period. And I ended up meeting my wife at a church. And believe it or not, what's this? I think Good Friday, whatever year that was, Good Friday, I proposed. I don't really like dates and times. I be forgetting stuff. Like I got daughters and I have to double check when they birthdays are, stuff like that. I be forgetting birthdays all the time. So I'm like, okay, I need to do something that I can remember. So I proposed on a Good Friday, and then or Palm Sunday, one of them two things. I just remember it
Oh,
being
now it could be Palm Sunday.
Yeah. I told you. For me,
that's typical of men, so don't feel bad about that, okay? Men don't pay attention to those little details, and then some women don't either. It's not.
I chose that purposely so that I knew kind of the time frame, and she'd probably kill me when she watched this, but on a serious note, and then we got married the day before her birthday. So her birthday August 30th. I mean, her birthday August 29th. We got married the day after her birthday, August 30th. And, you know, I didn't have no money at the time. Really couldn't afford nothing. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. And I was like, look, you talking about a wedding cost $20,000-$30,000. I ain't trying to do all that. I say, listen, how about we take that money, put that as a down payment on the house? In the beginning, she was upset. Then once we got them keys to the house, I'm in it now. I'm in my office now, and it was just like, all right, I'm glad that you talked me into getting the house, because I said you can't live in no ring and no wedding. It's gonna be a bunch of people at the wedding that we probably won't even be communicating 10 years from now. They just want to see what we look like at the wedding. They can just catch us at the reception. So we did have one of them at a reception. They flew my mother in. My mother, believe it or not, although she's from here, from Baltimore, she live in Long Beach. So they snuck and flew my mother in to surprise me. So she came, I did the reception at a nice hall. So she still got to dress up and still have at least a piece of that. You know what I mean? And it was real cool. So we've been rocking ever since.
Well, yeah, that's what they do these days. You know, it's easier to do it like that. Just do a reception. Shoot, my wedding, I had it in the backyard, and the tables was your seats, because you're gonna sit down and watch this wedding and eat right here too. So the tables was just already there, like it was already in the reception way. So they were sitting at their tables.
No, hey, I'm a person that I don't believe in putting myself in financial hardship just to something that, like, it's great you get the pictures and you have things to hold on to. But when I looked at the research at the time, I found out one of the biggest things that cause marriages to fall apart is financial struggles. I'm like, I'm not going to start off in $20,000-$30,000 worth of debt just because you want a big ring, a big wedding dress, you know, all that type of stuff. I'm like, man, we might as well just wait, get a couple dollars and throw a adult prom or something if you really want to dress up. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just couldn't see myself putting myself in a situation where I had to struggle harder. You know, already was a tough little come up. So, you know, we did that. And then right since we got the house, then the first we already had two, then my next daughter came. Then 2 years after that, then my next daughter came. And then 2 years after that, my next daughter came. So I had them back to back to back. So that's, you know, just a little bit about me. I got married young. Like I said, I got 5 daughters. We got all types of animals, cats, dogs, birds, fish, you know, over here. We just try to stay busy. I own my own photography, videography company called Elevation Up Media. So I do a lot of events between Baltimore and DC in the metropolitan area. I do weddings. I do events like hip hop shows, comedy shows. You name it, I probably did it. And so one of the things that, you know, I really like to do is work with the youth. So I also got my wife a school teacher. She used to be a scientist. She's a school teacher now. And I was able to get into doing nonprofit work. So before I met her, I was doing that. But then once I got I didn't have time for it. And so I ended up saying, you know what? I'm sorry, my dog in here barking.
No, I can't even pay attention. I didn't even hear him.
All right. And so what I ended up doing was I went from that to working. I had a job. I was doing IT. I was building pharmacy equipment. my youngest was born.
Mm.
It's crazy because when my youngest was born, she had Down syndrome. But we kind of knew something was going on, and it was tough because I had to resign from my job. I wasn't able to renew my contract, and I was able to carry a lot of the financial responsibilities myself at the time. So I was disappointed. You know, I
Why
went through.
did you time?
You know, because my daughter had my youngest has special needs, and she required a lot of um, assistance at the time. She had like a neck surgery, an intestinal surgery, a heart surgery, because she has what they call trisomy 21, which is, like I said, a form of Down syndrome. So she has developmental delays. So although she's 6, when you see her, most people think she's like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? So it's just been tough because for me, one second, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna let him out 1 second.
Okay. Okay, while Darien go do that, you guys make sure you click the like button, subscribe, share the content. Also, make sure you catch me tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Shooting the Shit.
Yeah. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button. But I was just saying she had Down syndrome, and I ain't gonna lie. That sometimes when I talk about it this time, I had to catch myself because sometimes I can get emotional about that because that was tough. Because when we went to the hospital, you know, I got a lot of kids, so I'm thinking to myself like, oh, we just about to go to the hospital. I'm gonna cut the umbilical cord. I'm gonna go back to work, whatever the case may be. And I'm telling you, it did not go like that. I went to the hospital. I called my mother to let her know. Like I said, she out in Long Beach. So when I called, I'm like, everything good. When I get out the phone, I walk back in. I hear them yelling something across the intercom, and I'm like, whoa, it sounds like an emergency. But I'm minding my business. I'm walking down the hall because I got my little scrubs on, got my little hairnet or whatever you want to call it on my head. You know, so I'm walking through labor and delivery, and I look to the left, I see them holding a baby. It's all these doctors and nurses and EMT type people. They running around in the hospital panicking. So I'm looking like, dang, that baby look like she need a new he or she need a new carburetor or something. They need something going on with this baby over here. So I'm like, let me go find my wife. As I try to get to the delivery room, somebody stepped in front of me, like blocking me from what? I'm like, what you doing? I'm trying to figure out, like, why you stopping me? I'm going to the right. Y'all over there at the left. And then they're like, let me talk to you for a minute. So I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? The whole time I'm looking at a baby that's getting a new transmission put in.
What do you mean? A new transmission?
So I look over, it's my daughter.
What do you mean by new transmission?
Yeah, so I'm like, that's crazy. Like, so I start panicking, like, oh, like, because had you seen it, it looked like something from a movie. I'm like, all right, what's going on? So my daughter, they working on my daughter, and I find out she got holes in her heart and she needed emergency surgery, and her intestines is tied up a certain way where they got remove some of it. So my daughter got a G-tube, but at that time, I ain't gonna lie, that was like when I seen them working on my daughter in that room. They had did an emergency C-section on my wife. Like this ain't how we planned none of it. You know what I mean? So when all that happened, it kind of knocked the wind out of me, because as a man, I'm thinking I'm gonna just go ahead, my wife gonna have a baby. I'm gonna hold her hand. We're gonna get her through the breathing, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna be out of the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I got the car seat ready. We're gonna do what we need to do, and just like the other ones, she gonna be home. But it wasn't like that.
Let me ask you this question, because I've had 3 children. It's been a while since I had them. Like my youngest one is 15 and my oldest one is 25. So
oh wow.
Yeah. So when I was having children or whatnot, and I was pregnant, they would give us like this orange juice, like it was like a soda or something that we would drink. And they're supposed to tell if your baby have Down syndrome. She didn't ever do no test like that.
Yeah, so she did something called an amniocentesis.
Okay, that's when they put the needle inside her belly.
Yeah.
But it's another thing before that. Before they even do that, it's like they give you like this soda or something, and then you go back the next day and they check your blood to see if your baby have Down syndrome.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if they did that particular procedure or testing. I just remember them saying, I just remember them saying that they wanted to see what was going on with the baby genetically, and they wasn't really specific or anything like that. So I was just like, okay. And then they sat us down with a geneticist and said there's a probability, but and they give you all these facts and these figures. So I didn't really know. I hated that because we had to wait. They did that at 4 months, so we had to walk around with that anxiety on the whole pregnancy. That was horrible. Like being worried about that. Hopefully, because they said they saw a fluid on the baby head. It was just a lot to take in at the time. And so it was tough for me because I didn't really understand a lot of it. And then ultimately, I wasn't the one carrying the baby. So I just remember how my wife was feeling at the time. And I remember the amniocentesis, that joint wasn't no joke because that needle was like this long. It was like feeding it to her like it was a ribbon. I'm like, yo, what is y'all doing? I'm like, that's crazy. And at first, she was taking it like a champ. And then all of a sudden, it was just like, all right, I don't know what's going on. And it was just tough. Like I said, it was just tough for our family because the baby stayed in the hospital 3-4 months. Like they had to take it to Johns Hopkins, and University of Maryland had like a hospital merger. I think it's called like Mount Washington or something. She was there for some time, so we couldn't even bring her home. Like I had to keep visiting her at the hospital, and then we couldn't bring our kids with us. So like right after that happened, through the grace of God, COVID happened. So we had just got her home. So it was like she was already like 4 or 5 months. It felt like around that time. So it was just tough, you know. So yeah, that's what got me to resign from building pharmacy equipment and doing IT.
So how is she doing now?
She's doing great. She in school now. She's still nonverbal. She could talk a little bit, but you're not gonna get a full conversation. She can say some words like water. She can say noodles, like that's her food of choice all the time, nuggets. So she can say some things, but then there's other things where it sound like all gibberish. And like she making up words, you know. And she can walk. Her motor skills is she fairly decent. She's still in the pull up. But she's at a really good school right now where they do diligence with her, dealing with her speech, dealing with her fine motor skills, stuff like that. So she coming along. And a lot of people feel like she's going to be high functioning, but like I said, she only 6. We have no clue. She could be on the bottom end of the spectrum or the top end. So we'll see what happens with that. But she is in school full day now. So that was something that I was concerned about, because when your daughter can't talk and then you put in these schools, is hard to trust. You can't trust people too much. So I didn't want her to be in school and couldn't communicate and things happening. I had a buddy and his son had like a disease similar. It wasn't Downs, but it was something similar. And they was abusing his son. And to the point where they had made him bust his face on the floor and all his teeth was damaged in the front. And nobody knew what happened. So that was something that, and they only like 3-4 years apart. So it was like, that was something that kind of woke me up to the reality is some people are cruel, and I didn't want that for my child. So I traveled 90% of the time with this particular job. So it was like, I could be out of town and my wife's still working full time, and then getting kids off the bus, putting them on the school bus, taking them, it was just a lot, on her. So she was like, you got to find something closer. So that's how I started my business. I was sitting home, bored, trying to work from home like everybody else for COVID. I said, I'm going to grow my hair since I'm in the house. Started growing my locks. It's been like 3 years since, you
start growing up.
Yeah. And then I started running around. My wife had bought me a camera for Father's Day, and I didn't really use it much. I'm like, you know what? I could start shooting music videos. Got to be playing around with the music. I got the studio stuff going on. I said, you know what? I just jumped out in the hood and say, who want a music video? That's the first place everybody rapping in the hood. And I told the dude I charged $500, and he was just like, I got you. They called his buddy up, some little boy, and I recorded him. And I'm like, that was my first time, so I didn't really know what I was doing. Got
you charged $500?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I had to, just in case I break the camera, I at least would like to get the money back. The camera was 6. You know what I mean? But shout outs to them. They definitely supported me. I end up walking around the corner when the police pull up, like, y'all gotta leave from around here. So I'm up in a dark alley with them, like, oh man, I'm all in the alley. I got a one dude in my car. I'm like, I hope this don't go left. I shoot the video.
Where's the video at? I gotta see the video.
I'm gonna send it to you. That's my first ever video. I got 2 videos like that. I was in the hood and I just put something together and it came out pretty good. And from that moment on, I said, if it only took me 2 hours to do that, and I'm like, you know what? I made $500 in 2 hours. I can't stop and I won't stop. And that's just how I started. So I went from that to getting clients for birthday parties, weddings, retirement parties. And I got a better camera from then. Once I got that better camera, I started shooting real videos, like comedy shows. I'll send you some of the stuff that I've done. And I just started branching out. Start going to clubs, sitting in the hookah lounge. That's something that a lot of people do. Is the hookah lounge. Everybody want to show up and dress a certain way, and that's how I got where I was going. So I started with photography first. I added videography, and then I started realizing that a lot of older people want to be on social media, and they have businesses. So I started doing social media management, and that was probably one of the best things I ever did, managing other people's social media for a monthly fee. And I do pretty good with that. I was shocked that really sells, especially with people over 50 that they know how to use social media just enough to check their feed, but they don't know how to get followers and views and stuff like that. So that's something that I was able to bring to the table. So that's how I built Elevation Up Media.
Elevation what media?
Elevation Up Media.
Up. Okay, that's what's up.
I do skits too. Like I've been planning. I need to get. It's warm outside. It's starting to warm up now. I did a couple promos for a couple of local clubs here where I play like this janky mechanic type dude, and I created that character, and it started working. It started going viral. I was surprised about that. You know, for a while I was literally I would do my photography, videography, and whoever was willing to, I would just use my cell phone. I keep like my little costume in the trunk of my car, and I switch into it real quick. Like, yo, let's do a skit real quick. And I would do it at the mall, in the parking lot, you know, and it was pretty cool, you know. So that's what kind of made me who I am now. So most people, I know I got my government name down there, but most people call me Canon with the camera. So I use all Canon products. That's just what I like. I got a Coach book bag, you know. I make sure I wear all the stuff with the C's on there, just to build that brand. So most people call me Canon. It's cool though, you know. So that's how I got where I am now, just building up and just leveraging my brand for people who I guess new to social media and they need some assistance, music videos, like I said, skits, things of that nature.
Shalom, brother, and happy Passover. Happy High Holy Days.
Yeah. Oh, that's JJ 7000. What's up, champ?
I was gonna ask you about these cameras because I got a camera, but then that'll be going off topic.
No, you good. Ask away.
I might have to go get the camera because, I mean, look, I wear many hats, you know, and I can't do everything on my own. And it's so sad because the people I know that's really good with camera and videography, they're not in LA.
Really? Well, I guess for us, from my vantage point, I feel like all the people who do entertainment and subsequent adjacent things to it are all on the West Coast.
When it comes to videography, that's what's lacking, especially for up and coming new artists. You'll probably get like, because I've been looking because I deal with different music artists because I do a little engineering and everything, and I'm trying to get into like managing artists and stuff, right?
I peeped your rap too on the beginning of this video too. That's what's up.
Yeah, so you know, I do my little camera thing or whatever, but I don't want to be a videographer. It's just too much like putting on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been looking for people that's reasonable. I've seen some like one, but I didn't like his I didn't like the video. It was
his aesthetics was trash.
It was just like flickering, everything flicker. Like, okay, maybe a couple of scenes with the flicker, you know. Then like, can we see a real scene and whatever, you know what I mean? But it was just like flickering the whole time, and it was making my head hurt.
Oh wow.
The lights, too much going on. Now the best ones I've seen though, like, and it's people that I know, and I'm like that I met in my lifetime. Like, dang, this is a great connection to have, but motherfucker way out in Houston or he way somewhere else I can't get to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
the
like,
people that match your vibe. Yeah, that's how it goes for real.
Like the thing that I want done. But anyways, let me move on to the next question because we're getting sidetracked. But I might bring my camera. I gotta go in there. I'm trying
just
to
hit me. Let me know. If you got questions, I got answers.
Yeah, I'm trying to rebuild my studio because I'm moving. Then I've just been taking the time to rebuild it. So I just been here. So I moved my studio, and it's I moved it into the front. Anyways, trying to get to the next question. But yeah, so you got an upcoming debate, but I don't want to get too much into that because I do want to touch on that.
Yeah, I got a debate coming up. It's next month. I want to say it's like the 20th. Don't get me to lie to you. Shout outs to the GT and David. They my boys. They on a debate with me.
He said, "Peace, family. Can you make me a song for my channel?" Who you talking to? Me? Darien. I mean, I got some instrumentals.
The 18th.
We can do. I got some instrumentals or something. I don't know if I could make another song. Like, I'm not finna rap or nothing. I mean, I probably get some artists. I mean, if I get somebody want to just goofing around in the studio. He said May 11th. May 11th.
May 11th. Oh yeah. I'm gonna say there we go. I'm glad he jumped on that for me. May 11th. So it's about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks away, something like that. It's coming up soon. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that debate conversation, but I do want how has your upbringing influenced the person you are today?
That's a good question. So again, like I said, I'm from Baltimore. Baltimore City it may not be one of the biggest, but it's one of them cities where it can be tough when it need to be. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, so for the longest time, I was the man of the house. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was really out the porch early when I was like 9, so I was hard headed. You know what I mean? I got a little sister. We like 10 years apart. And just growing up, although I was intelligent, I hated school. I didn't like the framework school had set up. I didn't apply myself, so subsequently, I was getting in trouble all the time. But I was always cool. Like I never really had too many real issues. Of course they come, but I was more so people knew me, and I was always short, small, some OG type. Well, we don't really do the OG thing, but somebody older than me was kind of always like my big brother, just where I grew up at. So I always kind of made a name for myself. I was willing to be young and reckless at, like we all was. We all did that, I feel like.
It was a show called Young and Reckless on
Oh yeah?
It's on Now That's TV.
Okay.
They begin it. I was about to say too, you say you're from Baltimore, and I love me some Krishan and Tasiki. They from Baltimore. They be throwing hands. I'm like, all the Baltimore girls be throwing hands for sure.
That's definitely
the little hood fights.
That's definitely something big. for me. Everybody, I feel like a lot of people here fight for real. Shout out to the boy Tank, Javante Davis. We definitely got
that's my baby right there.
We definitely got some hitters here. It's just one of them things where a lot of people here definitely, and we all from the same side of town, all the people you just named. It's just crazy because a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of talent in Baltimore. The problem is a lot of us don't know how to connect the dots. So once you might have the ability to sing, dance, rap, do art, but it's hard to get out of this metropolitan area. It's hard to get out of the DC or Baltimore, or, we get stuck in that little East Coast bubble. A lot of us end up in Atlanta, but once we go to other places, we end up, to me, I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of us end up repping other places that help put us on. So if you go to Atlanta and you get more love in Atlanta than you did at home, then you rep in Atlanta. So it's like, it's really hard to see the trajectory of where you came from. So like our best rapper at the time, his name was Scooter. And it was Scooter up next. Everybody was saying it. He was about to be like the biggest thing in Baltimore. He was running around with the right celebrities, and then he came home and he got killed. So it was like once he got killed, it kind of took us down a notch in terms of the music. We finally starting to bubble again with Young Moose. He run around with Boosie a lot. You got like YG Tech. He like one of the best to do it if you ask me. There's a couple other names that, I know that's not a Baltimore hip hop show, but it's a lot of other people that I didn't answer. Ratchet, what's up, bro? What's going on, Ratchet? And it just Baltimore is a tough city, and you get a good mix of that with the sports and just being gritty, you know what I mean? So and we mostly get joked about our accent, how we talk. Say too. I don't know how to turn that off. It's just something. This is how we enunciate. That's how we pronounce words.
It was a girl. I can't remember what her name was. She was on the Rap Game, and she used to be fired, and she was from Baltimore.
I feel bad because I can't get her name. It was two people. Lil Key was on the season before her, and then he was from Baltimore. And then you talking about Detronata.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She nice too. Detronata's actually really like that with the raps. And if you thought she was tight, there's other people in our city that really
think she better than what's the girl that she out now
Mulatto.
Yeah, she way better than Lotto to me. Well, sex sells. If you have that light skin, it's a mold. She got her butt done, and see, I know Datriana, she was too real. Like she just wanted to be just authentically her. And then Lotto, I was still skeptical when she came with the name Mulatto,
right?
Miss Mulatto or something like that.
Yeah, now she just Lotto. And it was crazy is I feel like as an artist overall, she definitely has some talent. I just didn't think there was another one named Super Peach at the time that I felt like she was decent too. And I just feel like all of them could have gotten more, even Lil Key. Like I just wish that a lot of them got to show their talent without having to conform to today's modern age of music. And that's just one of the tough things about being a part of something like that.
Yeah. Yes. So okay. So you said you met your wife at the church, and it was like a Christian church, right?
Yeah. Just a regular non-denominational church.
Non-denominational. Now, do you consider yourself a Christian right now?
Yeah.
Do you still go to church?
Yeah, I go to not that church, but I do go to church on Sundays.
On Sundays, okay. Every Sunday?
I wouldn't say every Sunday. I wasn't there this Sunday. But I'm actually pretty active though. So it's like, for example, I do photography, videography. One of the things I do for the church is I record the service. I'm out there when we do the feeding the homeless and stuff like that. I'm actually pretty intricate in the community just in general, but I do work for my church in a few different capacities.
So how has faith played a role in shaping your life journey and decisions you made along the way?
It's a big part, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, growing up, and I didn't really touch on that a lot because I started talking about music. But like I said, growing up in Baltimore, it's hard. Like I think my first actual real experience was something that where you would call on God for. Like I think I was 14, minding my business, getting ready for a party on Friday in my neighborhood. Like I'm talking about a stone throw from my house, and we just happened to be on the corner with the wrong person. He was into some beef with somebody from the projects, and they came through and they spent the bend, did that drive-by, and we was all out there. And it was one of them things where I shouldn't be alive. And that was kind of like one of my first real times realizing that, all right, yeah, they out here playing for keeps. And so at the time, I wasn't like nobody special. I was, I guess, what you would call a regular kid, you know, as far as regular kids go. We was throwing rocks and stuff like that. But I grew up around a lot of drug dealers and killers, and I thought it was cool until that happened. I was like, okay, this ain't what it really is. So for me, growing up, my grandmother went to church, but my mother really wasn't into it like that. Like I think when I was real little, they would go, and then by the time I was like 7 or 8, I wasn't getting out the bed. Like I didn't feel like going. I wasn't going. My mother stopped going. I think we tried to go once when I was like 14. And I think I remember this like it was yesterday. We went to church. We came out to church. Somebody had bust my mother's windows, but they went so hard. They broke into my mother's car, but through the back window, and they sitting right in front of where they basically stole from a woman and a child, and then you just gonna sit on the stoop right there and just watch. I'm thinking to myself like,
wait, what happened?
All right.
Who stood up on the stoop and watched?
The people. All right. So when we got out, all right, we pulled up to go to church, parked on a street. The church at the top of the block, but where we parked at is the bottom of the block. It's row houses right there. It was like 5 or 6 people just sitting on the porch. You know, they just lived in the community. When we went to church, they were just sitting outside. They ain't say nothing to us. They was just staring. When we came out the church, they was in the same spot, staring. But when we got to my mother's car, the car is directly in front of their front door. All our windows busted out in the car, and they done ran through the whole car. So the type of person I am, because, you know, we not dumb. My mother ain't want no problems. So she kind of fussed and cussed and got in the car, whatever. She was hurt. We had just came for church. And so I look to the right. I could see the glass trailing towards their steps. I'm thinking to myself, like, yo got glass all over his shoes. Yo did it. But I'm 14 yelling with adults, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you broke into my mother's car. You would, whatever I was saying, you know, whatever words I was using. So my mother was like, we just ain't gonna come here no more. So I think that was like we went to church for a while. We went there for like a year when I was like 14. And then I just distinctively remember somebody breaking into my mother's car on that block. But this was in the hood too. So it wasn't even like a safe environment, whether you was at that church or not. It was just a dangerous neighborhood in general. And I just remember that happening. And then after that, I don't have any recollection of church until I gave my life to Christ. So that was like I said, I was 22 and I did that on my own. That didn't have nothing to do with no pastor or nothing like that, you know. And so I pray over my kids every morning. I pray with my wife. You know, I don't really get into I don't be wearing no big name suit and no big. I'm not on that T.D. Jakes kick or nothing. Like, no disrespect to that guy, but I'm not into none of that. Like I read my Bible, I pray. You know, I study for myself. You see, I'm ready to get into a debate, which is my first time doing that. But you know, I believe what I read. You know, I've seen God work in miraculous ways in my life. You know, I went through a car window when I was 19. I had a hole in my face. You know what I'm saying? We crashed into a tree, and I could have died from that. And I made a full recovery.
Pause. You said you had a hole in your face.
Yeah, on the side of my face. That's why I keep my bed kind heavy. I was like 19, and my homeboy, I ain't gonna lie, we was high. I don't mind, man. Back then, I used to smoke a lot of weed. Like, we was cooked. I was just so excited. I'm like, I got a couple dollars in my pocket. Let me buy your car from you. He had like this little Toyota Celica or something like it was a two-door car. And I thought it was so cool. I'm like, man, I don't know how I drive no stick, but if I buy yours, at least I can practice on my own car. And so he was gonna sell it to me for $2,000. And so to celebrate, I'm like, I'm gonna smoke a blunt with you. We was drinking and smoking, and me and a buddy of mine, he got in the back seat. But something told me, put on your seatbelt, because I distinctly heard something say, nah. We ready to ride out. Just throw it. And I ain't never used to wear no seatbelt or nothing back then. And I just felt like I really needed to put my seatbelt on this particular day. And so he riding around the bend, he come too fast and he looked away from the street and he looked down. I think like his water bottle had like swung out of the cup holder onto the floor. But he was already speeding, and then he just lost control of the car. It just felt like the tree sucked us in. Boom! Right, that car was totaled, and I don't even. All I can really remember is once we hit the tree, I felt like I was out for like a second, and then I just felt like I restarted, and I looked up. The car was smoking, but I couldn't get out the car, and so my window was already down. My homeboy jumped over the seat because it was a two-door car. And he fell out, he like rolled out the window. And so he was yelling for me, like, yo, get out, yo, the car on fire. Then I jumped out the car and I just felt like my adrenaline was pumping. We got to his apartment because he crashed right in front of his house, which was crazy. And then I ain't had no hair on the side of my head. It's a wonder I got hair now, but I ain't had no hair on the side of my head. On my right hand side, my hip was making a clicking noise, and I could pull my tongue through my cheek. And I just remember I was already in trouble.
I'm sorry, I'm eating these cookies.
No, you good.
As you said, you could put your tongue through.
Yeah, I could hook my tongue through my cheek, like right here, like right where my cheek meet my lip. So that's, like I said, that's why I wear my bed kind thick. If I was to shave my bed down, I could show you the marks and in my head. But I healed, like I said, I healed up real good. Like the doctors was like, yo, you healed up real good. And then I just sued Joe for PIP coverage because I ain't have no insurance or nothing at the time. I was 19. I ain't had no job. And I ain't really know what to do, but them insurance, that hospital bill was crazy. I'm like, that hospital bill was crazy. And they told me, like, look, you're going to have to sue him. He didn't have insurance. So it's something called PIP coverage. I sued that. I got a couple dollars out of that to get myself together. I was able to go to like rehab, and they worked with me for like a couple of months. I feel like it was like 90 days or so. I was going like once a week, and it was pretty cool. And I made a full recovery. I don't think that anything that's going on with my body now I don't have no issues from that or nothing. Only, like I said, I got maybe a real small scar on my scalp, a small scar between my cheek and my lip. And like, I ain't lose no teeth or nothing. And then like I said, my hip was clicking, but that eventually stopped by itself. I ain't had no car, and I had to walk everywhere I went. So, that was a wake up call. But then when the police in the fire department, because they had to put the fire out on the car, they was just like looking at the car like, how you ain't get hurt worse than you did, and you was in the passenger seat. And I ain't really have no explanation or nothing like that. And so that was probably one of them things where hindsight, my grandmother was alive still at that time, and she just was like, man, I've been praying for you your whole life, basically, you know what I'm saying? And so that was one of the people that was intricate in getting me to, think about God in that aspect. Because, I ain't wake up on that tip. I might have thought about God in passing, but I never really was just like, and I'm like, dang, I could have died from that. You know what I mean? That was one of probably one of three big life or death experiences that I can really say. Like I said, that drive-by when I was 14, that car accident when I was 19, and somewhere in there, I don't remember, but well, it happened twice. It happened when I was 3, but I didn't know no, but I don't really remember it. I just know my mother telling me the story. When I was like 3, I jumped into a pool. I couldn't swim enough, and I just jumped off the diving board and went straight to the bottom. And the lifeguard had to come get me. I don't remember that, but I just know that that's a story that my family tell. And I used to be a lifeguard. I'm not scared of water. I'll be at the beach. I got a scuba diver license. I never been scared of water. So I guess that's a testament to me not being scared. But I always felt like God had his hand on me. And so those are things that help shape the way I think. And so, and my grandma was praying for me, and I'm still alive. And I did a lot of other stuff that I probably won't say online.
Yeah,
but
we're not trying to do no Vlad TV.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. But no Vlad. But yeah. Nothing to get me indicted or nothing. But I'm just saying, like you know what I'm saying. Like I've been through a lot. Just growing up, because it's easy to get in trouble. It's easy to find things to get in trouble with. You know what I mean?
You done answered a few of my questions already. Okay, so I did want to ask, what are some key lessons you've learned from balancing your faith, career, and family life?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because for me, it's all about balance. Like for me, I'm not a person where I don't like to be too religious. Like there's some things some good habits that I've built, studying my Bible myself, praying myself, having my communication with God, dealing with him on my personal time, teaching my family about God. Also making sure that I'm not too into what the world standard is. Like there's a lot of people that have their own view of how things supposed to go. And I'm not really into that. I've always been against the grain person. And because I'm a leader and not a follower, a lot of things, being a leader is the hardest way, though, because when everybody going to the left and you go to the right, you ostracize, you hard to work with, you the rebel. But at the same time, it benefits me in the long run, because I was willing to be the person to step up and say X, Y, Z. You know, people say, man, I should have listened to you. You was right. And I just do trial and error. I done failed a lot in my life. I done been homeless before. I done had to find out the hard way that if you go to Five Guys early in the mornings and they put the peanut, I don't even know if they do this. I ain't been there in a while. They put the peanuts out. I got asked for a cup of water. I don't got no money, but I just load up on all y'all peanuts. You know what I'm saying? Run to their bathroom real quick, throw some water on my face, try to get myself together, see if somebody let me go to their house and take a shower. I didn't been in that before. So it's like staying humble. You know, I could have a couple dollars over my mortgage money, feel like I'm doing something, but that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? A couple dollars ain't gonna make me feel like I'm better than the next man, because I know where I came from. I didn't come from nowhere spectacular. Like my father wasn't around. He didn't claim me. You know what I'm saying? I've been through because my father wasn't around, I wanted to make sure that my kids recognize me every day, putting them on the bus stop, picking them up at the bus stop, taking them to school, going on the field trips. I'm intricate in my kids' lives. Like my kids, they can count on me. You know, I'm hard on them, but because when I was growing up, my mother would say, "You got homework?" I'd lie and say no. She wouldn't even question me. I'd come in the house when I felt like it. My mother was laid back, but as raising me. And I knew that had she just been a little bit more on me, what do you say? The Sauce and Darien here preaching. What's going on, y'all?
That's Hyperius. I don't know.
Yeah. Shout outs to Hyperius. But I was just saying that because my mother was laid back. Like I had 3 different stepfathers, you feel me? And none of them was my dad. No disrespect to my mother in any kind of way. I'm just saying they wasn't my father or my sister's father. And so when you somebody else's kid and another person move into your house and then he tried to supersede the way the regime already gone, I wasn't going for none of that. Like I said, I was the man in my house at 9, and then you try moving to my house and then try.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't be going. I wasn't going for that. I wasn't.
How old were you when he moved in?
The third time.
The third time.
Yeah, like I said, my mother been married 3 times. I had 3 different stepfathers. So the first time I was like little, you know what I mean? The second time I was like 7, and the third time I was like 9. You know what I mean? And so the last dude had kids. His one son, he had a son. Yo would come to my house. He started living with us. He came in the end of the summer, went to high school 1 year with me. Then he started stealing from my mother, and I had to let him know what it was. You ain't gonna keep stealing from my mother, you know. But then I guess I was going too far with it, and then instead of my mother backing me up, she kind of let my stepfather at the time, like, yo, they stealing from you. They ain't stealing from me. You keep coming and asking where your stuff at. CDs that I would never listen to, like the Dixie Chicks, I never listened to them. You know what I'm saying? Jagged Edge. I mean, I listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You like, I don't got your CD. Where the CDs at? Then I come and I'm sharing a room with him, and I slam my cousin on his bed, and he hit his head on something hard. Boom. And I dump out his pillowcase, all the stuff that my mother looking for in his pillowcase. So I just put the baseball bats on, stuff like that. I was a little over the top. I was way bigger than me.
When you say you put the baseball bats on them, I hope you mean like the hands, your hands.
No, a real baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you're not gonna steal from my mom. We're talking about somebody that was already 11th or 12th grader, like 250 pounds, like 6'3". I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8" now. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in 9th and 10th grade, I probably was 115, 120 pounds. I ain't gonna back down, but I ain't gonna go into no fight that I know I can't win and purposely lose. I'm gonna make sure I'm bringing you to, you know what I'm saying? Like at the time, we cool now, but at the time I couldn't get over like you stealing from my mother. Cause I never stole from my mother. I never did nothing like that. So I was like, yo, stealing. And so I didn't like how, as I was growing up, I guess my mother wanted to, instead of being neutral or just making sure I was good, my mother was more into the dudes that she was with. And so growing up, I always felt like I had to take care of myself, because if my mother could let somebody else move their family in and they'd do all types of crazy stuff, and me trying to protect my home and my mother and my sister, and I'm getting in trouble for it, yeah, I'm on the block. I couldn't do it. And so that's probably why I don't live in Cali now, because I'm like, why would I move to LA? I'm from Baltimore. He'll mess around and get me killed out there because I got a problem with him and his whole family out there. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I had only been to Cali like twice, and it just wasn't for me. The ground was moving. That earthquake stuff wasn't for me. So I'm like,
don't hate on Cali. Okay?
You said what?
Don't hate on Cali. You know I'm from here.
Yeah, but y'all ground be moving. That ain't normal to me. I'm used to a small hurricane, you know what I'm saying? Something like that where, you live in a city or you live in the area. Baltimore don't really get a whole bunch of wild disasters, like super crazy. I've had an earthquake here before. We had one like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't in California. It was wild, crazy. I didn't expect the ground to move as much as it did. And I thought I was tripping, you know what I mean? So it was like, it's a nice place. It's a nice place for what it is. Y'all got beaches everywhere, stuff like that. It's cool. But I didn't want to go out there because I didn't know what to expect. Imagine me trying reprimand an adult for moving funny on my mother, and then all he gotta do is tell one of his cousins finish me off out there. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be in that position. And that's how I thought when I was like 17, like, man, 16. When did they move? Yeah, I was like 15 to 16 when he moved back. And then my mother ended up moving out there after him when I was 17. And I just stayed with my grandmother till she passed. And so you asked the question that those things impacted me in a way where it's like, I'm big on family. I'm big on protecting my immediate family, which is my wife and my daughters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm big on teaching them right from wrong so that they have integrity. As long as your integrity rock solid, you know what I mean? It's hard for people to play with your name because you only get one name. So they can say a lot about you, but one thing they ain't gonna say is you a snake, and they ain't gonna say you a liar. If people can trust you, you'll go places. And so that's what made me who I am,
Oh, sorry, I muted my mic. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to go back. I have some spam happening, some weird stuff happening on my end. But anyways, so how do you stay grounded and maintain a sense of purpose? Hello? What happened? He done disappeared, you guys. Darien! You guys, Darien disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. Do I have to be? I don't want to be in no solo. Darien, what happened? Okay, so until you get back, let's just go on and just hit that like button, subscribe. I did want to share I did want to talk to him about his upcoming debate and his diss tracks and stuff. Oh, here he comes, because I'm about to start playing the diss track if he wasn't coming back.
Yeah,
Hello?
I did not mean to do that. I was trying to turn up the volume some or whatever I was doing, and I hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
What question were you asking?
Oh, I was about to get into this debate.
Oh yeah, you said something about you said something about how I stay grounded. Is that what you said?
Yeah. What was the question then? How do you stay grounded and maintain a sense of purpose amidst the demands of your various roles and responsibilities? As a father, as a photographer, how do you stay grounded?
It's all about timing. You know, I think timing is important. Accountability is important. So because I'm accountable, I can't tell everybody no one to say no. That's one of the biggest things for a lot of people. People don't know when to say no. I used to be a yes man. I didn't want to tell people no because I thought that was going to turn people off. Then I was just like, you know what? People, if you don't say no, people will keep using you, and that'll affect your timing subsequently. So what I realize is you gotta keep it real with yourself. If I realize I only got 24 hours in a day, and I still want to make it home and make sure my daughter run track, she play volleyball. She's 6. She just turned 16. She in a crucial time in her life where I definitely need to make sure I instill those values because my daughter, we ain't doing no dots. We're not going for none of that. So I want her to understand how to maneuver through life. And she's doing real good. And it's like, for me, it's all about timing. Spending a balanced amount of time with my wife and my kids, because your family will humble you fast. I got a daughter that she a straight shooter. She kind of like me. So I'm very blunt. Sometimes it's on accident. So it's like sometimes I'm saying stuff and I ain't mean to hurt your feelings. I was just saying exactly how I internalized it is how I said it, you know. And I try to be honest and upfront with people. I try to, like, if you say be somewhere at 7 o'clock, I'm gonna try to get there like 6:45 so I can take a couple minutes to myself to decompress. You know what I mean? I try to hit all my jobs, and even though I might have charged you for, let's say, 10 pitches, I might do 155 pitches just because I still got time left. And you can have all of them too, just because what I'm gonna do with them. If you say that I can use some of your best pitches for like my advertisement, back. You look out for me, I'm gonna look out for you. I try to do right by other people. So those are things that help me to stay grounded. Obviously, keeping God first. You know, I don't want to say the cliche stuff. Keeping God first, praying, fasting. Those are things. Some people say all those things and they don't really be doing them. But, you know, trying to make sure that I get at least 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep, at least 4 times out the week, making sure I at least eat twice a day, you know what I'm saying? So that I can have some energy, but making sure that I see my wife, talk to her, talk to my kids. Sometimes I ask my kids questions, even though they're not adults, because they not adults, their perspective is different. So when I hear their perspective, sometimes it's like, I didn't even think of it like that. That's how you seen it. And it helps me to just, you know, check myself because I'm 36, but I don't think like I'm not saying that I don't have a mature mindset, but there are certain times when people get older, they start acting rigid. Like you can't tell them nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. I'm a person that I'm willing to listen. I listen for understanding. I don't listen to respond. If I hear you, I might not say nothing back. I might say, I feel you. I understand where you're coming from and process. I'm not going to just blurt out something just because you said it because I want to sound like I'm more superior. I don't care if you think I'm whack. I don't care if you think I'm broker than you. I learned to not worry about what people say. So those are some of the things that I've been able to do to help me stay more grounded, more balanced, and try to be as personable as possible.
What advice? Oh, I'm sorry. In what ways do you see yourself as a Renaissance man? And how does this multi-dimensional approach influence your approach to life?
Oh yeah, like I feel like that because I've done so many different jobs. I'm in the community. I'm with the nonprofit. I'm working with the youth, at-risk youth in the city. I'm feeding the homeless. Like, these people know me. You know what I'm saying? I got multiple jobs. I developed multiple streams of income. I done started a clothing line for my oldest daughter. I didn't put my kids in gymnastics, but I'm participating with them. I'm building inroads into the political arena. I have a client that she helped me to get into the Black Caucus, the Democratic Black Caucus. I got to meet some of these people. I'm into the mix with them. She's been dealing with me, helping me to make inroads into Dallas and Houston. I got a lot of things coming up. I'm back in the debate scene. I never really debated before, but I'm back in the apologetic scene, dealing with people in the conscious community, making friends. Shout outs to DMG, definitely a big supporter of mine. He definitely a good dude. Shout outs to the Craigs. I've been doing some things with them behind the scenes. I write books. I got comics. I got music. I got a studio. I got podcasts. I'm doing a lot of different things, and I feel like when I talk to people, when people ask what you got going on, I always have something new going on. I got animals. For a while, I was doing dog training.
Oh Lord, can you take my dog? Because I don't want to.
You know, what kind of dog you got?
Dog, actually, it's her dog. A big old German Shepherd. He big.
Oh yeah, I love the German Shepherd. They was the ones that I used to see the canine. I ain't like the police, but I used to think the German Shepherds was tough. You know what I mean? Danish Shepherds and Malinois. I thought it was cool dogs. So I got quails. I'm trying to start a farm. I got fish. I got birds. I eat the eggs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get my gardening going. So I got a lot going on. You know, I'm in ministry at my church, you know, so it's like, I feel like I do a lot of things. Sometimes I feel like I can be spread too thin, but like I said, it's all about balance. Sometimes telling people no is important, but I feel like that paradigm for me is always being effective in whatever. Like, I don't do, like, if I'm not good at it, I don't mind participating, but I try to make sure that I'm operating at a high level at the things that I'm doing, because sometimes people do a lot of different things, but they be trash at it. You know what I mean? You know, so I try to make sure that I can actually learn and I can excel. I can begin to make headway into those particular realms that I'm in. So
what's up to nobody? Nobody said what's up to you, Darien.
Oh, what's going on, bro? What's up, nobody?
The next question, this is going really well. Because then after these questions, then we're going to talk about this debate and what's been going on, the real tea. We're going to get into the real tea.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give to others who aspire to integrate their faith, focus, and family into a harmonious and fulfilling life journey? Did I ask you this question already?
Not sort of, but I can answer that this way. You got to get rid of fear. Even if you're scared, you got to do it anyway. Like, a lot of times what I believe holds people back from doing certain things is fear. Like think about it. It's things that, you know, like I said, one thing for me, my wife and I, how I got into scuba diving, I'll give you an example. I can swim real good, but I never thought about scuba diving. And then I end up almost drowning with that. That's another story.
Oh,
but
Lord. You had some times in your life. Thank the Most High you made it through that.
I'm trying to tell you. And I almost drowned doing that. And I almost quit at the last part. And I didn't want to go home, like, after doing 6 weeks of training, just for me to come back after spending all that money and them saying, why you ain't come back with it? I wanted my kids to know that you can really, really do whatever it is you put your mind to. I get it within reason, you know, but here it is. Here you go, right here. This my little card, certification.
Well, we don't want to see all your information.
No. I'm just showing the card because a lot of times, and I like showing it because I'm proud of it because, like I said, I almost drowned doing that.
It got you're a certified lifeguard or something. What is it?
Scuba diver.
Certified scuba diver.
I hear a lot of black people don't be into stuff like that. So it's like I like to explore and do adventurous things. But the reason why I showed that was because you know how a lot of people talk, but then when it's time for them to really show up and really show you what they really about, you start fact checking them and they not real. Right. And so with me, I don't want to say nothing that you can't quantify with real information about me. So the people that know me, if they ever watch, they not gonna get in the comments and say he lying. You know, and I think that when sometimes we don't vet people, and that's another thing to add in there. Not being afraid, jumping out there, getting rid of the, the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. You know, I ain't preaching, but I'm just saying, like, I had to realize that. And so I almost gave up on a lot of different things in my life because I didn't like starting my business wasn't really that easy. People know you for something. Man, you a cameraman now? You gonna do it for free? And then you don't do it, then they don't want to pay you. Or they want to give you no money. And I had to wake up and say, nah, bro, I love you, but I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? And once I got past the fear of hurting people's feelings, I began to start really putting in work. And yeah, they fell off fast because you find out who really for you when you see who actually supporting you. And I just knew coming, man, I got a lot of boys. I know they're going to look out for me. They got my back. They with me. As soon as I start doing well, I start finding out they were snakes. Start seeing how people really move. You start dealing with money with people. You start seeing how they move. So through trial and error, I was able to get into that. But the first thing is fear. If I could share that with anybody, know who you're around. I showed that card because I wanted to say sometimes people do not do a good job of vetting people. Like you need to know who your friends are. You need to know who the people love your family, but can we be real? Sometimes our family be bad too. Well, like
Cain killed Abel.
So you see what I'm saying? Like we need to be able to vet people. And sometimes we scared to repudiate the weaklings. Like if you move in a certain way, I'm not gonna call you out because you my mans. Nah, that was a sucker move. You did that and it was a sucker move. And I'm disappointed in you. No, I'm not giving you no money because the last time you had money, you did this. So I help you get a role doing something. But the minute you burn a bridge or cause an infraction that affects me, then nah, bro, I can't help you no more. I pray for you. I coach you through the situation once you earn it yourself. But after I looked out for you the first time, I can't do this for you no more. So know who you around. Don't be scared to say no. And what they say, stand on business. If you stand on business, you can't you ain't gonna fold for nothing.
Right. I definitely agree. And might I add, I just feel like you could tell when a person is good or not, because it's like when they just like to intentionally try to hurt you.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of us out there, and I say us as a people because this is too many of my people that do this. And then it's like, why try to push that button? Why people pushing buttons around here? Like, can y'all just stop pushing buttons and push your own button and be on go? That's why I'm green all year, the rest of the year, on go.
On go.
Not worried about nobody buttons or nothing.
Right.
And then too, just stay in your like people tend to not recognize what lane they in. You know what I mean? They want to be in your lane. They want to do what you do. Are they jealous of what you do? Where did I lose you, Darien? Anyways.
No, I'm here.
But I got the last question here. Look into the future, right? Looking to the future, what are your hopes and aspirations for yourself, your family, and the legacy you hope to leave behind?
Long as my family, I'm living for my last name at this point. I was able to do the things that my parents were unable to do. I got married. I live in the same house with my wife and my kids, with the exception of my biological oldest because I had her before I got married. But I take care of my daughter. I see her every other weekend. I got my time with her. I spend my time with her. As she grows up, I'm able to instill into her values and things like that. I'm in a position now where I'm leading my family into understanding who we are. We're not following the trends. Yeah, social media help you to figure out what the trends are around the world, but we are who we are. When people look, my neighbors see us, we stand out because we move differently. I'm at the point now, if looking towards the future, I would like to own multiple pieces of real estate, potentially with like a farm on it, even with the animals, the garden. The way the world is going, if you don't have your own food soon, you're going to get genetically modified everything, and you might not live as long as you would like to live. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that my daughters, they understand what a man looks like in terms of the way the world is going. Being an actual man is becoming an issue. When you stand on business as a man, people have problems with that. When you don't fall for any of this foolishness and you don't get into those social trends, we don't, certain things we don't do. I ain't gonna hate on you for doing it. I ain't gonna knock you for doing it. But we doing it this way. And then, being able to show my wife and my kids, we put in work, and I'm in a lot of different places and I'm actually doing well in those particular realms and domains. So it's like when my kids grow up, if they start to look for, a mate, my prayer and my hopes are that they find somebody that at least comes in. I'm not saying they're going to have to be like me, but I wanted to set the bar whereas they're not going to go for no goofy or no knucklehead that ain't got nothing going on. Yeah, he could roll a blunt, but that ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be able to, you got business mind, you administratively sound, you know how to move, you know how to communicate with people effectively. I want to leave that legacy in my daughters, that they remember me for being a stand-up individual that cared about his community and continued to sow not only into the Black community, but my community just around my neighbors as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why I take them with me when I feed the homeless, so they could see. Like, I tell them, like, this is where I came from. I didn't been here before. You know what I'm saying? I don't put them in positions where, they think everything's sweet. They understand what hardship look like. My prayer is that they don't have to go through that, but if they do, that they will be prepared for the real world. So.
I'm sorry. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that the Black community needs a leader?
Like one specific leader, like a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King type of person?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. I wouldn't. Well, let me ask you. Can I ask a question before I answer?
No.
All right, no, I won't ask the question. I'll say this afterwards, because I'm in the middle with that. I believe it could go both ways. If we had another leader in the Black community, I'm trying to figure out what that would look like. Would this be somebody that's like business savvy or somebody that's like religious? So the problem. So I'm gonna say no. And here's why. Because when I look at the Asian community, who is their leader? They be winning, and I don't really see no. Huh?
They have leaders.
Oh, then we need leaders. I mean, because I was gonna say yes in the beginning, but then I started thinking, do Asian people, like when we think of Asians in America?
Kim Jong-un is one. Let me see. Let me look up the.
Ain't he a bad guy?
How you a bad guy?
Don't he want to smoke with America?
No, he just don't like Biden.
All right, then we good. Then you probably bigger, and you probably know a lot more about
a lot
geopolitics than I do.
To be honest, a lot of other leaders in other countries don't fuck with Biden. That's why we're in such a bad space.
Oh,
Right
that's true. That's 100% true. And
now.
I
I
don't
don't
have a
think Kim
political
Jong
party.
Un. I know Kim Jong Un met with Trump before, but I don't think he fucked with Trump either.
I mean, I think a lot of people right now we're in a place now where I personally believe. So, all right, let me change my statement. Do we need a person in the Black community? Yes. I think we need a leader. I don't know why I didn't think of it this way, but yes, we definitely need a leader in the Black community. What his particular role would be, I'm not really sure. You know, I've seen the political activist side and it went left. I've seen the spiritual side and it went right. Or I should say it went wrong. But I haven't seen somebody that was like the right embodiment that has successfully, because I don't believe Barack Obama was that person. I don't believe he was the leader that we made him out to be when Young Jeezy made that rap song. My president is black, my Lambo is blue. I don't feel like he really did as much for the community like a Marcus Garvey or somebody like that, somebody that had the right mindset. I felt like a lot of our leaders of the past talked about assimilation, but that's just something that I would be willing to hear more information on that though. But
you just gotta look up different world leaders and you'll find out that it's a lot of, just like Russia has Putin.
Yeah, for sure. I feel not to sound cliche, but I feel like he's real. I feel like even though we on the other side of the paradigm with them, I think that as a leader that I feel like he resembles strength and dignity. Like when you see him, he don't look like he for no foolishness. I feel like his
he just threatened Biden. I forget for what though, but I think I was watching that before we did that, but he just threatened Biden about something. Let me see what it was. I'm looking on my phone.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then it's like when I look at a lot of the geopolitics, I feel like a lot of times we only see what they want us to see. I feel like there's an African dude, I can't think of his name right now. He in one of them countries, but he basically told them he wasn't going for none of that LGBT stuff. He said, "This our country. You could keep that in America."
The African leader.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of them over there that's starting to raise. I'm seeing it. Some places in Africa are starting to become more financially stable, and they trying to move out of that third world status. And I see them building. So yeah, I think that were you asking specifically about Black America needing leadership?
Yes.
Yeah. I think strong leadership is necessary, because I feel like we got a lot of people moving around, but we got a lot of people that they talk a good talk, but when you really pull back the covers, you start seeing that they got a lot of funny business with them.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is Craig that said this or who. Putin getting his ASS handed by Ukraine. I don't know what happened, but I do know that there's some crimes against
humanity.
Crimes against humanity that's being questioned by the United States. I mean, by other world leaders towards the United States, because they've been doing.
What were the specific charges?
I can't, because I was about to watch. Remember, I said I was about to.
Oh yeah, before that might be a good show to return on.
Yeah, I was just throwing that out there, but I was just, because we were talking about world leaders and then Putin came up or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of world leaders. I have another question. Do you think that the truth is a fact?
Is the truth a fact? Like, yes. I don't think that truth is relative. I think the truth is, if it's the truth, it's concrete, it's immovable, it's the truth. So yes, I think truth is a fact.
Oh, okay. And now, can you tell us about this upcoming debate that you have coming? Let me see. Let me put it on the screen.
Craig and Craig law firm, they didn't got us booked out to next month on 11th. Yeah, it's May 11th. It's for the debate. the Dream Team versus the Naga, and I'm looking forward to that. It's a lot of funny business that we've been promoting on both sides. So, the promo has been pretty good on our end. We did a couple of videos. They did some rebuttal videos. We did a face-off where it was one time where it was me versus all three of them. Then it was a time where it was three of us versus one of their members. It was just funny because they just was talking, and it was like they real arrogant, they real excited, they just know we just dumb Christians. They just feel like we don't know no better. We don't got nothing going on. We don't know what to think. Only thing we could talk about is the Bible. They called me a religious fanatic. They called me an idol worshiper. So I'm like, yo, y'all doing all of this, but y'all got people in the chats taking pictures and taking screenshots of what people say to us and trying to, like, people, there's people that say, like, yo, if you debate them, say this, or maybe you could build your argument this way. Like, little freebie handouts that we wasn't asking for. And one dude was going back and forth sending screenshots. I'm like, and then they like, yeah, we got Naga members everywhere. I'm like, oh, there we go. So my little get back for them was I threw a little diss out there. I was so excited, like, let me throw a little not no sneak diss. I'm gonna just throw it straight out there, put it in front of everybody, and see what happened with it. And I went straight at they neck. You know what I mean? I figured for the sake of promo, for the love of the sport, playing around with the music. Like, I don't really be rapping like that, but I know how to work the equipment. I used to rap when I was younger. So I said, I'm gonna try my hand with a little rap. So I put together a rough draft. I liked it so much. I said, man, I'm not trying to get no Grammy. Let me just go ahead and put this out. So on Sunday I dropped a little song. I sent it to you.
Yeah, can I play it now? I've been waiting for this part of the show.
Yo, if you want, hey y'all, this is a rough draft. Don't judge my raps on this rough draft. I should have redid it.
I need y'all to put some ones in the comments if y'all want to hear these diss tracks.
Yeah,
I need to see some ones go up in the comments if y'all want to hear this diss track.
Yeah.
So number one, I need to see ones first.
Yeah, let me see some ones. I ain't hitting no buttons because the last time I tried to look at the chat, I end up hitting the wrong button and backing out.
Meika. So.
Somebody throw one up there, man.
Okay, I'm waiting. Nobody. All right. Nobody threw a one. I see one. Can I get 10 ones? Can I get 3 ones?
I want to know if JJ 7000 heard that, man.
JJ 7000. I don't know. We got a few people watching. Okay, so it's the how you pronounce their name again?
The Naga. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the point. Like they use letters and then they try to make it like, you know how Yahweh is the Yud Hey Vav Hey, that's the Tetragrammaton. They tried to do something similar. It was like, yo, just put the A back in there, but they saying that it means something else with the letter. I don't know. But they call themselves the Nagas.
Theirs is the one on YouTube, or yours the one on YouTube?
Mine is the YouTube one.
Okay, let me go to that. Yeah, y'all need to hit them ones real quick. So
somebody throw a one in the chat. Let us know y'all watching for real.
Let me see. Okay, we got 1-1. But
there
anyway,
we go. I'll take the 1-1.
Yeah, you gonna win 1-1. Let's see. I'm finna share it. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah. Paradigm shift. Fuck it all, I need more best. Cannon. Put me in the game. Dude just looking lame. Ideologies and teachings, yeah, they sounding strange. Nagas claim they NGA like they a gang. All that pseudo scholarship, I think they chasing fame. Mad that I'm a Christian. These goofies really tripping. Soon as I call them out, They done had conniptions. That boy and you out here making predictions, thinking he can beat the dream team with that science fiction. Blood of Jesus on me. Can I get a witness? Tell that boy Lavelle he better mind his business. He out of bounds, nowhere near his jurisdiction. Must be a lot of estrogen all in his system. I can see the symptoms why he out here fishing, running back and forth. I gotta get him like his stepdaddy. I oughta whip him. All in my crosshairs and I ain't trying to hit him. Tell Ruger he is not a villain. Ruben a barber trying to sound scientific. Why even bother? This a 3v3. Shout outs to DMG for recognizing the GME. David ready, GT ready, yeah, it's time to rock. Lot of people talking hard, but they really not. They claim they winners, I think they losers, yeah, I want they spot. I can tell they nervous, I got they stomach all in knots. Yeah, Cannon. I hope y'all ready, you feel me? This ain't no super this just me playing around. Get your pen game up.
Okay, and so that's your diss. That was he said he filled with estrogen.
They lucky that I wrote it down and rapped it right then and there. Had I learned that, like took a day to like rap it and learn it, where it didn't sound so choppy. But like I said, I'm not trying to get no Grammy. I just wanted them to know that I was coming for them. That's all. You know.
What does that remind? This song remind me of something. I can't remember, but it was cool. I liked it. It came together pretty nice. So now I gotta go to their diss record.
Yeah.
It's only fair. See what happened. Now don't get all mad when I play that shit.
I ain't gonna be mad. I heard it though. You know, so I'm glad you're doing it this way because you know, that's the way it happened. So
yeah. So let me share their diss record. Now, let me ask you this. Are you gonna rebuttal this record, or you gonna leave it there, or what you gonna do with this?
Play the song and then you tell me what it sound like and whether or not I need a rebuttal.
Okay, let's play.
They just dropped that today. This just came out today.
Okay. This by Naga. Let's see. Wait a minute. Right.
Want this Naga?
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. It's on now. Want this Naga? You got Naga there. Yeah, nigga. Hope you can stand up to this heat. On the head we ran. These Naga dragons spit flame on you, bitch ass nigga. Real talk, nigga. Who said I was a barber? I just keep my son fresh. Use a Christian false witness. Jesus put this boy in check. Without the power and the glory, out of goals are not a threat. You would have not a light, and one day you will soon regret. You let our haters pump you up like they was gassing up a vet. Boy, you knew to this, I nail you to the crucifix. Dude, you's a Christian, like them cowboys with you in it. So niggas cut the foolishness and send me the tomfoolery. This Naga 16 balls to be your eulogy. Hip hop is my language and I speak that shit that fluently. You wouldn't win this battle even if it was just you and me. Set all the Bibles on fire, Naga gods and I creduled it. But yours gon' burn with it. You get it? Yeah, you're gon' burn with it. Get it? Yeah, you're gon' burn with it. You get it? Nigga, yours gon' burn with it. Dig it? Lay him down to sleep. Snatch your soul for keep. If he die from this and Naga, pray your soul you'll go and keep. You the not a light, we smashing all your idols in the street. You the not a light, we smashing all your idols in the street. Lay him down to sleep. Snatch your soul for keep. If he die from this and Naga, pray your soul you'll go and keep. You the not a light, we smashing all your idols in the street. You the not a light, we smashing all your idols in the street. Yeah. Nigga, this the first shot. You ain't think Naga was gonna play a back? This what we do, right, nigga? You better have some more rounds in that clip. Cause we got extendos over here with switches, you dig?
Those with switches.
It's Naga. The bar reloaded.
The bar reloaded.
Blood over wine.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. That's so funny.
Yeah,
So y'all turned this into a little beef. A
that's
little
funny.
rap beef or whatever. Not beef, but a little rap battle.
Yeah, that's all it is. It just for me, it's all about fun promo to build up to the anticipation for the debate. You know, I'm happy you responded back. You know, what you think?
I mean, shit. I would have just responded back just for the sake of it. That is
Mhm.
just because I like to rap. I've been rapping since I was 11 years old.
Yeah, for me, around then too. Around
Yeah,
then.
that's just something I like to do. So I would have just responded. Let's, like you said, just write something real quick and just. But anyways, just I had to probably like what did it say? Finish them. I would have to finish them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know that little trick where you rip this thing
Oh
on
yeah,
head.
fatality on Mortal Kombat. Finish him. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have had to do one of them.
Man, I don't know, man. Me personally, if I was outside of myself, I feel like I got him. I came first. I ain't do all no hooks. I ain't do all that. I can't think of no real lines that he said. You even said in the beginning, "I'm not a barber." So my one little jab at him made him had to write a whole little verse. It's three of them. He the first one to talk about some ain't no barber. That's in your first line. I was just cutting my son hair. Like yo.
Oh, he was explaining.
What he's explaining for? I feel like I got him. I feel like Dream Team up one. That's what I feel.
Yeah, well, there will be a debate on March 11th. It's going to be called what now? What's the debate called?
The debate is God is light, light is electromagnetism, and I'm opposing that.
Yeah. So you guys stay tuned for that. Any final thoughts? Oh, he said wait on a new rap song first. Who's a new?
He is another one of the people that's a part of the debate from Naga. So I think that was King Naga. I guess his boy gotta come back with something too. But I don't know if I should wait for them to make.
Any other group members from the Dream Team make a rap diss song?
No, they didn't. It was just me versus just so far some 1-1. I only heard his voice so far. So I made mine 2 days ago. He just responded today. Like I didn't hear it till like this afternoon. So I don't know when they released it, but I heard it today for the first time.
Oh, okay. And,
that's my second time hearing it.
Who's all part of the Dream Team?
So far it's just me, Najiti, and David Chandler. So Najiti, Hawkins, and David Chandler.
Oh, okay. So are they planning?
So it's three of us.
Are they planning on doing a rebuttal to King Naga? Nobody talked about it.
We talked about it, but they really not no rappers. So if they decide to rap, it'll just be, and we not in the same.
They're gonna have to get in the booth because man, y'all done turned it into a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they was interested. I'm just happy that that everybody is excited. We got content coming. The Craigs and that brokering, they in the firm brokering new debates coming up. We got different people. You seen I just 3 Dream Team. I just 3 Naga members and one of the buddies. He got most of the hits just because he was the one sending screenshots. So talking about
give me a backstory on this because I'm just a little confused. I need to know what happened because you was trying to tell me earlier. I'm like trying to get to the.
All right, so basically what happened was
put them in the. Craig, why you always going against the grain? I want to see them. I want to see them grind time. I want to see how this.
I mean, if they want to go, if it's another song coming out, they hoping they said they got extendo clips with the switches on it. That's cool. You know,
Like,
they got
extendos of what? What are we doing? Why are we talking about guns?
Hey, it don't matter to me what they talk about. All I'm telling you is
about guns. Are they talking about mental guns?
I felt like they was talking about metaphorical guns. They already dropped another. They about to drop another hot 16 on me.
I didn't know the metaphor there because I missed that metaphor. It was talking about the mental guns. Okay.
I mean, maybe they talking about real guns, but ultimately, I didn't. I'm curious to see what the numbers will be by the end of the night in terms of who they feel like got Dream Team versus Naga round one with the music. I feel like we got it just off the strength of how I came at them.
Considering when I was on that one show and I told them like electromagnetism is electromagnetism and electroradiation is electroradiation. So they're trying to make it the same.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you finessing. You know what I mean? That's why I said non-rapping dudes will be embarrassed. He's saying
it might be
it's funny to me. So I think that I'm gonna hear what the Paradigm Shift team had to say about it. You know what I mean? Shout outs to the Super Team. That's another team. I guess the Dream Team is a subsidiary of that. So that's like a group of the Christians that's a part of Paradigm Shift. Then the whole Paradigm Shift community has people from every angle within the conscious community in it. So it's a lot of people that's behind us in terms of wanting to see the debate happen. Like I said, I'm preparing for the debate, just developing my notes. I've been able to put some things together. I've been able to do the face off. I listen to what they're saying. I watched how they try to deal with you and your argumentation. It didn't really sound like much to me. I'm like, they ain't really saying nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like if that's their argument, I feel pretty confident. I ain't gonna be cocky and try to sleep on anybody because I've never actually debated before. This is my first actual official debate. Also on the Dream Team, I believe that this is David's first official debate. So I think the two of us, because we've never debated before, I want to be extra prepared because I don't want to go in there and then dragging my feet and then they do all this damage because they understand certain things that I've never even been privy to before. So like I said, being a rookie in terms of debating, I'm looking forward to it. But as far as this promo game go, leading up to the debate, I feel like I got them. I feel like Dream Team up one.
Already because electromagnetism is not light, electroradiation is light, and electromagnetism is more than just light. So if they're trying to say that, then they got to stick with electroradiation, which electroradiation does not affect every human life on the planet. I mean, not human life, every life on the planet. So it's just they don't know what they're talking about.
You better be careful before you end up in a snippet. They make clips. They be clipping videos.
I don't care.
Then they gonna send a diss to you next.
Oh, they don't want to diss me because I got bars. I got bars.
No, that's funny.
I will come from. They don't, and then they'll get beat by a female that rapped on them. You know what I mean? That dissed them in a rap song. And then they're gonna really be looking like they got estrogen in them. Okay.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, ain't nobody quoting none of their bars. I got people messaging me talking about the bars that they like from the song. You didn't quote it one. I got other people quoting them. I ain't really heard nothing other than they gonna nail me to a cross.
I didn't hear you heard that. I didn't hear nothing really. I mean, I'll have to listen to it again.
Hey, but yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Hey, I just want to say I appreciate you for letting me jump on. I know we had a scheduling conflict. My daughter had gymnastics, and I didn't know that. I didn't realize that I was going to be the one to take it because my wife went out of town for work for a week, and I had to do all the things that parents do alone. So that was a lot with all of the kids here. But I appreciate you for letting me get on the show. Thank you for playing the song. Thank you for just allowing me to be on the platform. I really appreciate it.
Craig, I don't care what they got. Matter of fact, when I started rapping, I was a battle rapper taking niggas out in the playground. Okay, at the playground, in the middle of lunch, all the way through high school and all that. I know how to get a person on the battle rap for sure.
Yeah, my man Ratchet Craig, funny.
Yeah, I don't care about who they got. I know what I got.
Right, standing on that right there. You feel me?
They got two
So
female rappers that's tight and bring it. I love that type of stuff.
I'm curious to see how large the community is. It seems like it's really a lot of them.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even been a part of that community. I just know that
But one of them claimed to be a Hebrew Israelite. So I'm like, how are you teaching this when you saying you a Hebrew Israelite?
Well, I don't know. I can kind of understand because, like, a lot of us Israelites. I don't say Hebrew Israelite. I say Israelites because those people that's Jewish or the Khazars and all them, they're considered Hebrew as well. So I say Israelite because it's a different bark from the tree. So I know that the Bible could be looked at as a science book. I just think they got the science wrong on it. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Because if we compare theories scientifically, such as the Big Bang Theory, and then when God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. See, and what I tried to explain to them, the light is God's voice. It's not, he is not light. he created light.
So
he said it's only 10 of them in the community.
Oh wow. They just running the pack. Okay. So I guess we in a position now where we got this track out. They got this track out. We got a debate coming up. You know, whether or not another song comes out from their camp, they saying wait for Anu. So that means they got a second song coming. And right now, you know, we may or may not see any more songs from the Dream Team. You never know if they do come out.
I mean, gotta put me on the team a long time ago. Y'all don't even want to put me on the Dream Team.
Yeah, you can be Dream Team. You already went up against my first opponent. You know what I'm saying? You rap. That's definitely a prerequisite now. If you rap and you, we definitely gotta have that discussion because I think that it is. Why not? You know.
Craig don't want me to be part of the debate. Hating.
That'll be a 4v3 though. They're gonna have to find another person.
Oh, all right. I'll sit this one out today. He said they running 10. There's 10 of them.
A 10-man debate. 10 on 10 is 20 people. That'd be crazy.
No, we can't do a 10 at one time, of course.
Yeah, no. We could always find a follow-up debate to have, and then we could just swap people from our team into the next debate.
Yeah, just one-on-one debates against each person, you know.
Yeah, why not?
Ones from a team. You could do the 3-on-1, 2-on-1. Don't say hell no, Craig.
Craig already got you. Craig already giving you the no. Craig and Craig Law Firm already speaking.
Yeah, they said no. They said I can't do it. They scamming.
Anyways. Yeah, you know. I appreciate you for letting me on. This was fun. And I'm looking forward to the next panel discussion too.
That'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. You guys, I try to keep it every Wednesday, but shoot, life be happening.
I might got something going on. What's the topic?
Oh, we're doing a part 2 of the mental health, and then Friday, I'm trying to see if I can get some space on Friday night to talk about. We were having a little conversation in the back chat. And so I want to talk about how music been brainwashing us way longer than it is.
I want to. That's a good combo. I'm looking forward to that one. It start at 7 my time.
Well, that one I'm gonna try to do Friday. I don't know what time that's going to start.
You know how to reach me. Let me know what's going on. That's a really good topic, and I got other people that could pretty that you might want to. Maybe I can bring another person from the Dream Team onto the panel if that's okay with you.
I think I want Craig to do his what do you call it? What do you call it? The open house. I want him to
Right.
do the open house on Friday and let that be the topic. Probably most likely do it like that.
And
Where it's an
how
open house.
music and media brainwashing people.
Yeah.
All right.
But I want to go back in history because me and Craig was talking about it earlier.
I got the perfect person, David Chandler, who's a part of the debate on my end. That's one of his favorite topics.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Craig, I hope you hear this. If you off of work or whatever, do that open house on Friday or whatever.
And just let me know the time.
I have to call. I'll let you know what time.
All right, bet. And I'll follow up with him.
Probably by tomorrow, I'll let you know if it's a go on the Craig's end, because I know sometimes they got to do the Craig and Craig law firm and what's the other one? The Lake of Fire. So I don't know what they got coming up.
Got you.
Because Wednesdays, the weekdays is my days.
Got you.
Know, but when it comes to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's usually when they doing their little time.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. I try to keep y'all going throughout the week, you know. So anyway, thank you for showing up and showing out. And hopefully you can make it to Shooting the Shit on one of these Wednesdays.
For sure.
And that's Wednesdays at 7.
7 Eastern Standard Time or West Coast time?
My time. So it'll be 10 o'clock your time.
Right. Okay.
You be up that late?
This depends on what's going on. Sometimes I be tired. Sometimes I don't be.
Okay. Well, you guys make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ask questions, or
hit that bell icon.
I'm Meika Wash. This is Mouth Off with Meika, and I'm out of here.
Show who you are. Good Rick is your kid and bid the forbidden. As it was written, you overbidding. With the heathens, karma is a bitch, so how you living? Pray for my enemies, unforgiving. Cast the pearls on hog moms and chitlin'. If it's too hot, get your ass out the kitchen. Finger licking good, good looking. Stewing in the stew, I'm cooking. You psyched out, paranoid and shookin'. Shook the table, babes, I'm booking. Get prepared for this ass whooping. Listen to the words being spoken. You were talking, I'm awake and woken. While I'm spitting this, got your spit, got choking. Era up, a glimpse in my world, eyes shut open. Parallel in my mind, I'm chosen. Reverse the time, heart frozen. Antarctica, cold as ice. Casting lots, rolling dice. Mean as nails, I'm nothing nice. They persecuted me like they rejected Christ.